Good morning, everybody. J.R. Fisher here. It is Friday. Look at that. We made it through the week. It's Friday. And you know what it is? It's the last day of April. My gosh, tomorrow's going to be May. Can you believe it? We are a third of the way through 2021. And it seemed like 2020 just dragged on forever, didn't it? I mean, does it seem that way to you? So, let's see what's going on here. Paul says, what does Paul got to say? You really don't appreciate using time wisely until you start making videos. So important to have a plan and not just wing it. Yes, definitely. 100%, guys. That's very true. James says it's loud and clear in Savannah. Thank you so much for that sound check. Hey guys, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down there if you would. Don't forget to ring the bell. Turn on all bell notifications so that you're notified each and every time I go live or I upload a video. Today, I've got a plan. I use my time wisely. I've been sneezing too, man. I hope I don't keep sneezing. Paul says loud and clear, brother. Good. Yesterday I was sneezing up a storm. But anyhow, if you're new guys, we do this training every day to help you guys start, run, and grow online businesses. We have some fun. We talk to each other. Today is going to be about time management for digital marketers. And believe me, it is different if you work online. Paul said something about the video thing. Yeah, man, time management is really important when you're editing videos. And I mean, gosh, knows videos can suck your time. Let's see here. Alrighty, I'm looking at it. Had a plan the other day, but fell apart and had to wing it. We'll do it live. I remember that recording. We'll do it live. We'll just do it live. I remember that recording. Some of you don't remember it. I won't get into it. It was somebody famous who was yelling and screaming at people just trying to do their jobs. No point in doing that. You ain't no better than anybody else. Always remember that. It was funny. When I was like in my 20s, I worked at a car dealership and I was a finance manager. And I was telling my boss, who really was kind of a friend. He was an older guy. He was probably in his 60s at the time. And I thought he was this old man. And I was telling him, I said, if I leave this place, I said, they just don't know what's going to happen. They don't know how important I am. They don't know how much I do for this place. And he looked at me, he says, son, take your fist and stick it in a bucket of water. And when you pull out your fist, the amount of time it takes for that hole to fill up is how long it'll take for them to fill your job. And it kind of put me in my place. I'm like, well, maybe I'm not so important. Maybe I'm not so special. None of us are important or special, but we're all special in our own way. But you ain't no better than anybody else. And we're going to talk about time management today. But guys, if you have any questions about starting, running, and growing your online business, put it in that chat section over there. I would greatly appreciate it. I love your comments. I love your suggestions. I love your questions. It means so much. And that interaction in that chat section there actually gets more distribution for my video. I think I'm like 128 people away from hitting 5,000 right now. So if you wouldn't mind sharing this video, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, it would mean the world to me. We're almost at that 5,000 mark. And yeah, that's a big mark, and some of you may say, well, I know people have got 5 million people. You only got 5,000. To me, it's a lot. Okay. To me, it's more than what I had. And the thing is, you got to build, because those people with 5 million, guess what? At one point, they didn't have 5,000. It takes time to do this stuff. And that's what we're going to talk about today is time and time management, and how you can use your time better. And I think that's so important, because if we use our time better, it almost seems like we have more of it. We don't, but it almost seems that way. The life of a digital marketer is really kind of tough. Each day you're going to find this pile of potential distractions that keep you from hitting all the things that you want to do. There's endless social media updates, there's the launch of the newest, greatest tool. There's all this stuff, but most of it's just noise. And being able to weed through all this is so important. It's easy to get overwhelmed with all this stuff that's going on around you. That's why it's really important to remain disciplined. Discipline is really important. You got to focus on things that really do matter, not things that are just interesting to you at the moment. If you're going to succeed online, guys, you've got to follow some of these rules I'm going to go through today. Trust me. I learned the hard way in the beginning. I try to be more and more time aware. Yesterday I went through, I have a whole bunch of different credit cards. I have no balances on any of them, but I use them because there's points there and there's rewards, and I use them for business, and I spend a lot of money on business. It's nothing for me to spend 150, 200,000 in a month on supplies, on boxes and meats and cans and stuff for my survival food company. And when I use these credit cards, I get all kinds of points and I get rewards and stuff. Some of these cards I'm making $1,500, $2,000 a month in just rewards on. But anyhow, I realized when I was getting a bunch of statements in the mail, it was just burning up my time. So I went online and I switched everything to paperless. And I had most of them paperless. But I just switched everything to paperless because opening that one envelope took time, and you always tend to open envelopes that you get. So hopefully, and I went in and my investments with Fidelity Investments and TD Ameritrade and all that. I went in there and said, I don't want any more statements. I don't want you to send me anything. Don't send me anything. Get rid of all of it, because that just burned up my time. So the first thing I'm going to tell you about time is you got to set time limits. Okay, time limits are so important. When you have a specific task that you want to do, you want to be very productive on it. It's a well-known fact that you can drift and let any task consume your entire day. I mean, that can happen. Work expands to fill time available. It does. I don't know why, but it does. And if you agree with some of this, put that in the chat section. I'll be talking to you. So as that happens, it eats up your day, and you can combat this by using something special that I call a countdown timer. That's it. And all you got to do is go to Google and type in 25-minute countdown timer. If you decide that you want to work on something for 25 minutes, put in a timer. And when that timer's up, you're done with that task, whether you finished it or not. Okay? Let me get another sip here real quick. But I love having timers. I use timers for everything. Everything. I mean, if we're putting our dog's food out and we keep it in the fridge because she's on a raw food diet, we'll put it on the counter and we want it to warm up, but I don't want to sit there and wait, and I don't know how long it's been sitting there, so I set a timer. I say, hey, Google, set a 15-minute timer. Oh, okay. I've got one of those Google Home things in my office, and I don't want it setting a timer. Next thing I'm going to tell you is just opposite of what a lot of people have told you. Is number 2 is avoid multitasking. There is no such thing. Multitasking does not exist. I love it when I see people, they'll post ads for an employee and they'll say, multitasking is so important, can you multitask? No, I can't multitask, and nobody else can either. It's not possible. Your brain is designed to function so that it focuses on one thing at a time. That's it. It can't focus on 2 or 3 things. It's impossible. What it does, it may do it very quickly, it may switch between 3 different things constantly. But when you're doing that, what you're doing is you're losing focus on the one thing that you were thinking about. So actually, there is no way to multitask. Pick something you want to work on. Scientists have proved that our brain works best when it focuses on one thing at a time. So what you're doing is you're doing 3 things really crappy. You're not really multitasking. What's Paul got to say? Along with time management, I think you need to be persistent and realize there is a bit of risk you need to be comfortable with. You seem to have a good handle on that. I don't know. I work every day. I try to do my best. I will tell you, I struggle with, at the end of the day, did I get enough done? And my wife does the same thing. So sometimes we'll just look at each other and say, did you get anything done today? And we'll say, yeah, I got this done. I got this done. I got this done. Do we always get everything done we want to do? No. But you know what? I tend to forget the days that I get everything done and then I add some stuff to it and get that done too. Be satisfied with what you got done. Number 3 is a big one. Eliminate distractions. I see this happen a lot. Sometimes I'll work in the living room and I'll just sit at the couch, but I make sure that I don't have the TV on or radio on or any of that stuff on in the background, because that's distracting to me. I want it quiet. So if you can't do that, go in a room, shut the door, switch your phone to airplane mode so it doesn't disturb you, shut other apps down on your computer, do all of that, but try to get rid of distractions. Do that do not disturb thing, right? A best-selling author Gary Keller wrote Why It's Important to Focus on One Thing at a Time, and he talked about primary work and all that stuff, but you can look him up. He has some pretty good interesting stuff on that. When you lose focus, if you lose focus, when you turn and look at something else or you read something else, it can take twice as long to get back in the groove of what you were already doing. So if you can eliminate that distraction, you're going to eliminate even more time by doing that. Make sure you eliminate distraction. Super important. Next thing up, number 4, is invest time in education. Okay, how much time a day do you set aside to educate yourself, to learn stuff? That's super important. James says bad things happen to you when you multitask. Yes, they do. They do. You're right. And he also says prioritize. Yeah, pick the things. And here's, there's a, God, I'm trying to think of who it was, and I can't think of the author now. He's pretty famous. Maybe it was Mark Twain. But, it's eat the frog. If you've got to eat 2 frogs, eat them early in the morning. Now, what did he mean by that? He meant, if you've got to do something really horrible and difficult, get it over with. Get it over with. And then he said, if you've got to eat 2 frogs in the morning, eat the big one first. Eat the one that's most difficult first. Get that stuff over with. The stuff that you would normally put off to the end of the day that you don't want to do, and then it spills over into the next day and the next day and the next day. No, do it first thing. Get it done, over with, done. Yesterday, I had to film one more video because on Wednesday, I had 12 scheduled. I got through 11, and then my wife had a meeting, and she couldn't help me out with the camera and all that, so we had to postpone it for a day. So yesterday, I said, well, the first thing I'm going to do is film that video, but she wasn't ready. She wasn't ready. So since she wasn't ready, guess what I did? I wrote 3 more scripts, and I ended up filming 4 yesterday instead of 1. 3 instead of 1. So that way, I actually got some stuff done instead of just waiting for her. Number 5, delegate and outsource tasks. I mean, guys, I can't impress upon you enough. I have a guy who does video editing and uploading my videos and SEO and all that stuff. And man, that used to burn up so much of my time. And yeah, it costs me money every month, and I pay him more than I probably should. But the point is, he's loyal that way, and I'm going to keep paying him more because that's what I do with people who work with me. There's no reason why you shouldn't delegate or outsource to another person. If you work on your own, you could hire a VA to help you with some admin task, something like that, or hire a freelancer to design your graphics. When you do the math, it can often work out to be more cost effective than what you first thought. My time is worth a lot more to me doing things that are creative than to doing things that are mundane. So I do delegate a lot. Next thing I'll tell you is to take regular breaks. A lot of people won't tell you this, but taking a break really does help. Now my watch, I've got one of these Apple watches, and it'll tell me when it's time to stand up. Time to stand up and walk around. So that's kind of cool. It's a break. I stand up, I walk around, maybe I walk to my wife's office, maybe I go outside for a minute. But our bodies need those breaks. Just sitting and sitting and sitting is not good for you. Next thing I'll tell you is track your time. Yeah, Mark Twain said eat the frog. Okay, James, thanks for that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was him, but I couldn't remember exactly. Do you honestly spend your time, each activity throughout the day correctly? Do you? I don't know. Most of us kid ourselves. There's an app out there called Time My Life to get an accurate recording of how much time you spend on each task. Get that, get that and check out that app. Next thing up is use a password manager. Oh my God, using a password manager has saved me so much time, guys. I'm going to look here real quick because I do have a password manager. I use MSecure if you're interested, MSecure. And this is my password manager right here. Okay, so as you can see, and let me go over to the screen here so I can see what I'm showing you. But this is my password manager, and if you can see it, I have all these passwords right here. All these. Try to remember all those? I don't think so. It's not going to happen. You're not going to remember all those. And don't use the same password for everything. Some people are going to say, just use the same password. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's not cool. People are going to break into your stuff. Let's see what Paul's got to say. The only way to multitask is to give tasks their own time segments and not interruption. Hire for, like you said, mundane tasks like lawn cutting. Yes, I already have a lawn service for Texas. I haven't even moved there yet. I have a lawn service. You're right, Paul. And really, if you're setting time for each one, you're not multitasking. You're not trying to do them all at once, which you can anyhow. But the password manager, guys, I mean, for a number of years, I kept asking my wife, hey, do you have the password to this? You get the login for this? And she'd just pull up her app. She'd say, yeah, I got a password manager thing. And I finally succumbed and got that password manager. Now, if I need to know a password, I just go right to it and look it up real quick. I don't have to try to figure it out. I don't have to try 10 different things. It's just there. So get a password manager. The next thing I want to tell you is don't waste time on things that aren't working. Okay? As marketers, we should always be evaluating various campaigns and activities. Be ruthless. Cut out the things that aren't working. Invest more time elsewhere. I went through my ads yesterday and I was looking at keywords, and I have. So here's how I do this, just so you know. Let's say I've got 100 keywords that my ad's going out to. I have what I call my KPI. My KPI, okay, key performance indicator. My key performance indicator is I want to pay $10 for a lead going to my webinar. $10. Now, I will allow a keyword, a topic, a subject up to $20 without getting an opt-in. So I'm going to spend $20 without getting an opt-in, okay? If I do have an opt-in, so once I hit $20, that keyword's done. It's done. I pause it, I get rid of it. It's no longer there. That topic's done, whatever. Now, let's say I do get an opt-in and I'm at $21, okay? What do? I go up to $30. At $30, if I don't get another opt-in, okay, then I kill it. So that's my KPI, and it's really simple. I already know that in my brain, so I can just scan through and I know exactly which ones I'm going to kill and which ones I'm going to keep using. And it is interesting because like some of them will cost you $12 an opt-in and some of them will cost me 60 cents. I'd rather have the 60-cent one. So when you're doing ads on YouTube, when you kill the ones that aren't performing, it spends more money on the ones that are performing. So it's really kind of a neat system. So I don't waste time on things that aren't working. I go in there and look at those things and I change them. Only use tools that show real benefits. There's so many tools out there, guys. As a digital marketer, let's see. Paul says brakes prevent blood clots. Oh my God, and helps with circulations. I definitely need a password manager. Oh my gosh, Paul, if you don't have one, trust me. At the end of this, get a password manager. Really, I'm not kidding you, man. And I mean, like mine, I think cost $20 or something like that, and it was a one-time pay app. It's called M Secure. Let me put this in here. You tell me if you like it, and see how well it works for you. But man, it saved me so much time, Paul. You have no idea. You have no idea. It's like why didn't I do this before? You know, $20 or whatever it was, and I only paid one time, and it's good forever. Good forever. Only use tools that have real benefits. So it's easy to become attracted by new tools that promise outstanding results, and they're going to do all this great stuff for you. But there's only so many tools you can really effectively use in your business. That's why I like Kartra, and there'll be a link in the description. Kartra has 8 pieces of software built into one, so I don't have to log into a whole bunch of different places. So even if it wasn't great, which it is, and even if it didn't do all these things, which it does, just the fact that I don't have to log into 8 different pieces of software, it's all built into one, saves me so much time. I mean, it's just so cool. You're going to waste time, potentially money too, by using all these tools you just never do. Consolidate your tools. Kartra is the easiest way to do that, guys. If you're a digital marketer, I recommend Kartra over and above anything else. Being ruthless and being organized saves tons of time too. Currently working on getting office better organized. Yeah, and don't beat yourself up, guys, if you haven't done all these things. These are things that you can add. These are things that you can do now. Have you ever used SurveyMonkey? I haven't used SurveyMonkey, James, but I've used other survey softwares, and I do like it. And I can't think of the one I used to use. I used to use one that was really good, and I haven't done these surveys in a while. You know, I've been working on other things, but that's a good one. I've heard very good things about it. Check your engagement data. That's something else I would tell you. When was the last time you checked your social media engagement? You've seen the infographics about the best times of day to post on social media and each channel, but have you checked your data? Do you know what's going on? I check my data on YouTube every single morning when I get up. That's the first thing I do, is look at YouTube data. I look at how much money I'm making. I look at my ads. I look at which videos are doing well. And that's another thing I'll tell you. This isn't one of the steps, but let's say you're doing videos on YouTube and you've done, I don't know, 100 videos. Go in there and sort your videos by view, and the ones that got the most views, do more videos on that subject. You know, I mean, that's what people want. That's what you get views on. And that way you're maximizing your effort. Next thing I want to tell you, automate your post. I do this. Automate your post. Social media automation has a couple different benefits, but it lets you post content when your audience is online, right? Which we just talked about. But it also frees up your time for other tasks. So all of my videos on YouTube are scheduled 2 weeks in advance. In addition to that, I've probably got another 2 weeks of video setting, waiting for my video editor to edit them. So, you know, it helps a lot. There's plenty of social media automation tools out there. Postcron's one of them. I use one, and I'm trying to think of the name of it now because I don't really use it. My video editor does. Doggone it, I can't think of it. I'll think of it in a moment, but I use one for that. You know, you can use these for your Facebook fan page, your profile, your events, your groups, whatever. LinkedIn, you can use it for, you know, your profile, your company page. Twitter, you can use it on your profile. Google Plus, you can use it on your business pages, Pinterest boards, Instagram accounts, all that stuff. It's a huge time saver though, because that way I know my stuff's going out. Like right now, I've scheduled emails. I have an email that went out, or will go out today, went out yesterday too, to remind people about my Saturday live. And then on Saturday, there's going to be one that goes out at 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. That's going to remind them about it. Yeah, so I've got 2 that go out on Saturday. So all of those are automated though, so I don't have to worry about it. Okay, let me get another sip here real quick. Let's see here. What does Paul say? Delete email subscriptions that fill inbox. 100%. I have one with my email provider, and I have a folder called Learn Spam. So what you do is you take those ones that you know are spam and you put it in Learn Spam, and it learns it, and then it won't send it to you anymore. Because just deleting, you think about how much time it takes just to delete. Man, it burns up some time. I unsubscribe all the time. That's a very good point, Paul. I unsubscribe routinely, cutting all groups I've oversubscribed to. If it's not moving me forward, it's gone. That's really good, Paul. That's a really good suggestion. Thanks for that. And I do the same thing. I totally agree with you. Manage your engagement is another thing I'll tell you. Once you've scheduled your post for the best times a day, you have to decide how you're going to interact with comments, mentions, feedbacks. This is something I got to work on a little bit better too, because I get a lot of comments now on YouTube, and I want to get to all of them, and it's hard to do sometimes, but I'm going to make it a point to do that today. If you've chosen to focus on 1 or 2 social channels, that's the best way to go about it. It's hard for you to focus on comments and suggestions and all that stuff if you've got 10 social media channels. I don't suggest that. I know there's people like Gary Vee that can pull it off. I don't think most people can. I think you need to focus on 2 or 3. Mine is primarily Facebook and YouTube. That's where I spend my time. That's where I'm going to be. I always get a kick when somebody follows me on Instagram, and I'm like, I don't post on Instagram. You're wasting your time to follow me. I might in the future, but right now I'm not. If you got more channels, then you got interaction to manage. Why are you doing it anyhow? I mean, there's no point. You might find it easier to use a tool. There's one called Agora Pulse that can consolidate all your messages into one inbox, so you could do that. Next thing I'll tell you is use some templates. A lot of social media activities are really repetitive, so it makes sense to create some type of templates that you can use over and over. For example, you could save a set of like graphic templates in Canva or Postcron for each social media network. You can have a standard set of hashtags, which I do when I upload a video. I have a standard set of hashtags ready to use on your posts or Instagram or whatever. Any ideas on getting out of Facebook jail? Buddy, I tell you, I am so frustrated with Facebook. I have had so many problems with Facebook, so many complaints from so many people. I don't think they care about their audience. I just don't think they care. And it concerns me because I have Facebook stock, but it's still doing well. But I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't. Facebook is becoming an enigma to me. If I have a problem on Google or YouTube or whatever, I can always get a hold of somebody. I can talk to somebody physically. I can chat with them. They email with me. They try to help me. I mean, I think Facebook's going to face a real problem because they will not help you with stuff. I have no idea why they're doing that. But I'm sorry if you're having a problem there. Love the lives without the gift card. Content last week was incredible. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Do you set a specific time to answer emails? You know, I don't, and I should. I usually work that in throughout the day. I do check my email too much. I'm not perfect on these things, guys. So if I'm sitting there giving you advice, you go, oh, JR's got it all together. He's so perfect. I'm not. I screw a lot of this stuff up. I check my email too often. I check my stocks too often. But I'm working on it. Okay, we're all a work in progress, right? So yeah, avoid social media when you should be doing something else. Social media can be a huge time suck. This doesn't pose a problem for me because I really don't care about social media much. But you know, I'm not telling you to avoid it altogether. But the thing is, some of us spend way too much time on it. I see some people that they're at dinner, they're at lunch with other people, and they're just on their phone the whole time. They're not even looking at the person they're eating with. But it can be very time consuming. It can suck up a lot of your time. So you don't want to do that. So I've given you, what, 15, 16 things you can do? Not too bad. Can you list who you use for templates? Can you list who you use for templates? Well, I have kind of templates for Facebook. And I kind of have some for YouTube. I have templates for my videos. Now, my templates at this point for video, I've shot close to 1,000 videos now. It's kind of in my head. I know what I'm going to do in each video. Now, the information is different in every single video, of course. As far as templates for like thumbnails on YouTube, my editor Billy, he has templates for that. We change those up every now and then. Sometimes I'll put words on the templates, sometimes I don't. But he's really good about that. Yes, the throat is still clearing out. It is every morning when I'm doing these things live, guys. Not so bad on Saturdays because it's 10 o'clock and I've already talked for a little bit. But during the week, it's a little bit rough. Let me get over here to this other screen. So what do you think? You think this stuff could help you out? You think? Look at that hair fix. Kind of flat today, isn't it? Got some flat hair going on. Flat hair. So I do have a template for today, Friday. Some of you know it. You can put it in the chat section if you know my Friday template. I have a pretty clear-cut one on Friday. And I do that clear-cut one on Friday. If you're a friend of mine on Facebook, you probably know what it is. It's nothing that secretive, but it is something I do. And something you need to do. Probably the most important thing you can do all day long. Maybe the most important thing of your life. Am I overselling this? I think I am. I just need you to subscribe. I need you to hit that subscribe button down there. I need you to ring the bell. Turn on all bell notifications so you're notified every time I upload a video or I go live. That would be really nice. And I want you to do this. This right here. Can you do that? I think you can. What do you think, guys? Can you be more organized? Can you be more time effective as a digital marketer? I think you can. I think these things will help you. Are there more things that you think will help? Put it in that chat section. If you're not watching this live, which a lot of you aren't, I get it, you can't always be here, put it in the comment section there. Put any questions you have in the comment section down there. You know, ask me anything you want about, you know, starting, running, and growing online businesses. That's what I do. I was logged into my admin panel at my Magento store for Survivalcave food yesterday, and I looked at it, and I'm not going to say the amount, but there were millions and millions and millions of dollars sold in survival food. Millions and millions and millions. And I looked at that and I thought, wow, it's amazing, because that doesn't include all my sales. That's just at that site. If they bought from that site, if they buy from Kartra or something like that, it doesn't even record them. And holy crap, it was a lot of money. I'm like, where did all that money go? I mean, there was a lot of money there. Do you schedule fitness to a specific time, or just make sure you do it? I remember your dedication on cruise to getting in time for your fitness when you did work on computer. Yes, I do that at a certain time. When I'm working at home, generally it's going to be right after lunch. So you know, I'm gonna get up in the morning. I'm gonna do whatever work I got to do until lunchtime. My wife and I go to lunch every day, and then after that we get down and we do our workout. Sometimes we work out together. Sometimes she does a different one. For the most part, we work out together. But yeah, it's every day. Now, here's a funny thing though. My watch will tell me if I have to do more, because I have it set at a certain number of calories. And at dinner time or close to dinner time, if I don't have all the calories burned, I'll jump on the bike and I'll start riding the bike before dinner or after dinner. So that's when I get the rest of it in, and that is scheduled every single day. That is like, I don't know, that's like eating. It's just something I do. If I get up, I work out. That's what I do. And it's generally 4 to 5 days a week. I don't work out on Fridays because that's the day that we, and Paul's already guessed it, go out to lunch. Where at today, brother? You know, I haven't picked a place yet today, Paul. I got up a little bit late. Spent a little time with my dog on the couch, and she likes to kind of cuddle a little bit, so I had to give her some time. So I hadn't figured it out. I watched Kelly Stamps. Oh, well, check out this person, Kelly Stamps. She is just an interesting girl, and I watched some of her videos, and her channel is blown up. She's making about $40,000 a month now off her YouTube channel, which isn't bad for, I think, a 24-year-old girl. 40 grand a month. Let's see here. See y'all tomorrow. Thanks a bunch, JR. Peace and blessings always, everyone. How's ideas for cooking coming? You know, Paul, I got a lot of them, and I already got some filmed. So those will be there. I got some videos of the kitchen of the house. I ought to put those up so you guys can see those if you're interested. I've got videos of my agents walking through the house and showing me all the different rooms and what it's going to look like. And I ought to do that. James Brain, have you ever tried intermittent fasting? You know, I tried it. I even got an app for it. I paid for an app for it, and I'm not a fan. My son is a bodybuilder, and you know, I told him about it, and he's like, "Well, no kidding. If you skip eating for part of the day, you're going to lose weight." He says, "But you go into starvation mode, and you actually will burn more muscle than you're going to burn fat." And it made so much sense to me. And he really studies this stuff. He's an RN also. And he really does know nutrition, and he knows macros and micros, and he meal preps, and I mean, he's in incredible shape. And I was like, you know what, I'm not going to do intermittent fasting. It doesn't, and I know all the research behind it and the caveman thing and how they went without food and it was good for them and all, but nah, I don't like it. Okay, it works for some people. I'm not saying it's bad or good or anything. I don't like it. I don't like missing my meals. So I'm not going to do that. We're at 9:31. We made it. We made it through another session. But did we make it through the point where you subscribe? Did we? Did we make it through the point where you give me a thumbs up, a like? I don't have enough likes here. How many likes do I got? I can tell that you guys, if you're liking or not. I don't have any likes. I need some likes on this, guys. Hit it, James. You normally like it. Maybe you liked it and it hasn't shown up. That could be it. Sometimes if I'm in the middle of this and I don't refresh the screen, which if I refresh the screen, then I lose you guys. I don't want to do that. But hit that like button if you would, and don't forget to ring the bell. Turn on all bell notifications so that you're notified every time I go live or I upload a video. And I'm going to be doing a contest, guys, and I'm going to be doing some giveaways. So make sure you're hanging out in some of these lives, because I'm going to be doing some giveaways, some really cool stuff. And it's not going to be like the gift card $10 things. They're going to be things of real value, probably in the hundreds of dollars. So stick around. You may be able to get in part of that and get part of the giveaway, which is kind of cool. I'm looking for a Schwinn Airdyne to work out with. Post the videos of home. Okay, y'all do that. I use MYX Fitness. This is the bike I use. Paul, check this out. It's a lot less than a Peloton. I'm not saying it's better. It's okay. It's a good bike. It has the big screen. It has all the workout things. You still got to pay monthly for the training and all that. But mixed fitness bike is pretty cool. You may want to check it out. That's what I have right now. That's what I'm using. The only thing I don't like about working out on a bike is the dang seat. The seats are uncomfortable. I don't care what kind of bike you get. The seats are uncomfortable. And I bought a different seat to put on my bike. It's still uncomfortable. It hurts. If you've been on a bike for an hour, you're going to have a sore butt. That's just the way it is. Hit the like button first thing always. I thought you did, James. I guess it's just not showing up on my screen here. It probably will after this is over with. Guys, I am so close to 5,000 subscribers. Please do me a solid. Get people who will watch my videos to subscribe to this channel. I only need like a little over 100 subscribers to hit that 5,000 mark. It's going to be a real milestone for me, and I'm sure 10,000 will be, and 100,000 and a million. But I would really appreciate if you did that. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here today. Today's Friday. I have one more live this week, which will be tomorrow at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. tomorrow. Be at this channel. I've got some really cool stuff I'm going over. If you want to know what it is, go to my channel. You'll see the title of the video for tomorrow and what I'm going to cover. But it could save your business. Woo! Could save your business. How about that? Important stuff. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. You guys have an awesome Friday. And yes, I'm going to lunch. If you're a friend of mine on Facebook, you'll see pictures. I'll post pictures of wherever we go.